مشكلة علشان خاطر مفيش غير الترماي ده. نرجع تاني، انت ما قلتش كده انت فاهم انك انت بالريموت طب انت عايز الريموت كنترول؟
لا دي مش هتنفع، بس دي ما تنفعش فيها ريموت كنترول صفحه مع صفحه دي بنختار.
طيب
عايز الفلاشه من هناك؟
بليز. هيتوصل. ربنا يهديك يا رب. اهم حاجه ما يرعش. اوكي احنا مش عايزين ريموت كنترول في حاجه، مش كده؟ عايزين الشاشة بس. هو الشاشة كبيرة، خلي بالك، هو الشاشة كبيرة، هو أوقات بيعمل الحركة دي. عايز ترجع؟
هلو
مش شغال ولا إيه؟
كان شغال مع مين؟
شوفوا أون ولا لأ؟
مش عارفين يرجعوا شيء؟ مش عارفين يرجعوا ان هم يبقوا
Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed lunch and connecting with everyone. Hello. I know it's fun, but we need to start the fun now. So you guys are ready? Right now is the fun competition. We are going, it's called the Who Wants to Be Christianaire? And the competition will be, we have 3 servants that will be running this competition. First, we have Abuna Isaac, who will be the judge, even though he had a hard time accepting his role as a judge, because the Bible asks us not to judge. But we understand this is a different type of judgment. So thank you, Abuna, for helping us today. And then we have Mr. Jacob Mitias, who is going to be our timekeeper. So if you need to bribe somebody, I'm just kidding. And then Dr. Nabil is going to be our conductor for the competition, and I'm going to give him the microphone. He's going to go over the details of how to win.
Thank you. Can you hear me well? Can you hear me? Is that good? Okay. We're going to play a game. It's a fun game. And in the fun game, we are going to learn about life, the Bible, the church, and some very smart questions. The game is called Who Wants to Be a Christianaire? But actually it is a Coptic Jeopardy. We have 4 teams. If you remember, when you came in, you were assigned to a specific color for the folder and for the name tag. So the front team is the black team. Sorry, I can't even see. The blue team, the black team. In the back we have the red team and the green team. Each team will designate a leader, a spokesperson, a man or a woman. In the Coptic Church, we are not prejudiced. So the leader, the spokesperson, can be a woman. The game goes as follows. Okay? معايا يا جماعة, we need to focus regarding how it is being played. We'll ask the first team to choose. So somebody will choose 100 points from whatever column. Okay? You hear the question, and the team member, they talk to each other in a soft voice, and we have a timekeeper. You have 30 seconds, 30 seconds. The leader has to raise his hand if he has an answer. Only the leader. Only the spokesperson, the designated one, and gives us the answer. If we have the right answer, you get whatever points you chose. If you default on the answer, the next group inherits the question. If they get it, you get a point. If not, we reveal the question, the answer, and we go to the next group. If anybody who is not a leader speaks up, and you will find that in the Middle Eastern countries, this is very common, unfortunately, we will subtract 50 points. So if you talk, not your turn to talk, or you are not the spokesperson whom you have been chosen, Abuna, the judge, will subtract 50 points. Any questions so far? So we'll go like this. We'll come back. Yes? If the blue team what?
Time's out. The time out.
Time out, the default, it goes to the next team. Am I answering you? Yes? You got the answer. Okay.
But Dr. Nabil, if they answer the wrong answer,
yes,
does that default to the next team or that ends the question?
Abuna is asking. يا جماعة خليكم معانا. احنا عايزين نصحى after lunch. That is the point of the team who prepared for the seminar, to put this after lunch. Because after lunch you get heavy, and if somebody here blah 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 blah, then we'll go to sleep. So this is an interactive game to laugh and learn together. So Abuna is asking, what was the question, Abuna? I forgot.
The question was if one team gets the wrong answer.
Yes.
Will the next team inherit the
what
question?
What you guys like? You want the next team to inherit it and try the luck? Yes? Okay. Okay. So, we're going to start. Abuna, the judge, is ready. Timekeeper, ready? Okay. We'll start with the blue team. Tell me who is the spokesperson. Henry. Here, who is the spokesperson? Daniel. In the back. Kareem. And here? Danny. Okay. So we have Danny, Kareem, and here Henry. Okay. Henry, for the blue team, choose a question from one of the 4 categories and tell us how many points. For the smart only, 100. Remember, for the smart only questions, you have to have an IQ above 20. I'm telling you. No, أنا سامحني. عشان أوكي ها أوكي ماشي. في
انا بهدلت لك الدنيا.
ادهولهم ادهولهم هم بيقولوا. ده خلع هنا ده ايه ده كله ده برضه.
That wasn't the right category, guys.
Yeah. Discovery.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't our mission. Darn it, I knew that.
You know, Henry, why did that happen?
Why?
Because it's a smart category. So in the smart category, you choose the wrong question.
Got it. You're checking my
designed
IQ.
to be like that.
You're checking our IQ.
Yes, correct. Yes. Remember, the IQ has to be above what?
20.
20.
وصلته يا يعقوب؟
كانت متوصلة.
امال ايه صورة بطل فبولس دي كانت فين دي؟
دي باك جراوند.
باك جراوند على التدريب؟
واحد. هل ده متوصل؟
يعقوب.
ينفع ولا لا؟
هل ايه؟
ينفع نفتح اناجيل نبص ريفرنس ولا عشان بس نبقى حاطينها
no. لا
ممكن تنبه علشان
اوكي
ما يبقاش حد
30 seconds it doesn't جوجل والكلام ده؟
لا جوجل اكيد ده غش، لكن انا بتكلم لو حد في باله مثلا ممكن يبقى في متى يفتح متى اللي في باله مثلا
I see.
يعني فاهم قصدي؟
No, okay. No outside assistance. Yes. Sure. بس هم هيشوفوا الإجابة ازاي صح ولا غلط. الإجابة بتطلع.
انت تبع انهي تيم يا ميشو؟ هنديك 15 بوينت.
Your team fixed it? You don't get points. You don't get points. I'm sorry. Okay. So the question was Henry requested, right? Where is Henry? Okay. You know what? We might not need you to look at this. Can you trust me with the answers? I will see it here. Okay? We all agreed on the IQ. So we have the same IQ. I'm not going to say the number. So we're okay.
Dr. Nabil, I trust you with my life, so don't worry.
Now. I want that to disappear.
Another 15 points.
Oh, okay. Okay. So for Henry, it was for the smarts only. Can you stay here? Thank you. IQ 25. Woo! 21? Oh, okay. What is the thing that you cannot use except by throwing it away? You can. Okay, minus 50.
Which team minus 50?
Minus 50, blue. So we go to the next one. Control your mouth. Talk among each other. Speak to Daniel. Daniel, question ya Daniel. What do you choose? عايز هو ياخده يعني؟ Okay. You want to inherit the same question? Okay. What was the question? 30 seconds. Huh? Frisbee? Crispy. Crispy cream? The fishing net.
What's
Yeah.
a frisbee?
So 0, 0 here. In the back? No, he chose that. He chose that. He chose it. In the back, yes. Red group. Kareem, what do you want to choose? Yes. ايوه داني عايز ايه؟ احنا ماشيين كده يا جماعه، ماشيين كده، ماشيين كده. كريم. I can't hear you. سامع؟
So we'll give it to him.
Why don't you take this question? I choose for you. I'm an Egyptian, typical Egyptian father. I decide for you. Democratic process, yes. Okay. He didn't choose it. هرجع لهنا.
We'll take this one.
You take this one? Thank you. You are a blessed son. Okay. So the question is for $100. Blessed are they have not seen and yet the answer is there. How beautiful.
We'll take it.
Are you having fun or what? Yeah. Read it. Okay. Now they don't trust you. Okay. So I'm not going to count this question. Okay? We'll go
So
to
do
the
we
next
answer or wait?
one. Okay. What do you need? Choose one from the categories that you cannot see.
A dream for 200.
Which one?
Dreams for 200. Dream or
Dreams.
vision.
Dreams for 200.
It's not showing on the TVs right now. Oh, you do it? Okay. So how do?
Dreams for 300. Okay. Are you listening?
Okay.
He saw a ladder touching the land, going up to heaven, with angels going up and down on it. 30 seconds.
Who is Jacob?
Okay. So, who is Jacob? 200. Sometimes, hold on. Karim, stay. Sometimes we'll do like AP question, like the schools, advanced placement. You want to take it? Give it back to him. AP question outside the curriculum. مش موجود في المنهج. Okay? Karim, talk to your people. What does Jacob mean in the original language? 30 seconds.
Okay. Is that the final answer?
What? 10 seconds.
We got an answer.
Yes.
One that follows. Two follow.
One that follows. Approved by the judge. You know what? I fooled you. You know why? Do you know how many points you're getting? No. Did we say? We didn't say. So Abuna will give him 50 points. AP? لا ما هو جاوب ال 200. Okay. Daniel's group.
We're
The
going to pick.
categories are, when was that mentioned, the verse, the dreams, what is the beginning of the verse, and smart only.
Dreams for 500.
For 500?
500.
Dreams for 500. He saw a sheet descending from heaven, full of animals and birds, and was ordered, kill and eat. Answer in 30 seconds.
It's who is Saint Peter?
Who is Saint Peter? Excellent. 500.
Oh, we need the.
For 100 points more, Daniel, AP question. Can you continue the verse after that?
Can you repeat the verse?
He saw a descending sheet from heaven, full of animals and birds, and was ordered, kill and eat. What was St. Peter's response? 30 seconds.
That's it. I think it's our turn.
Time is up. Thank you. The blue group.
I cannot eat what is impure.
Doesn't count. Time is up. Time. Okay. Blue group. يا جماعة لو عملنا يعني ايه
He's my father.
we laugh and we interact, but if it is not organized, we will lose track. So we're going in cycles like that. When it is not your turn for the question, regular question, or the AP, please be silent. You can negotiate with your group If the question you inherit later on, but the noise interrupts other people from playing. Type. The blue group, Henry, what you want to choose?
Can you repeat the categories, please?
The categories. When was this verse mentioned? The other one. Who saw this dream or vision? The third one. What is the beginning of this verse? And the fourth one for the smarts only.
Why is that the beginning of the verse for 500?
Okay. What was the beginning of this verse for 500? Blank, comma. Tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away. Blank, comma. Tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away. 30 seconds.
Lord. So what is it? What is my master?
Where is my master?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sir, if you have carried him away, the meaning is the same, so we'll give you the 500 points. We have the meaning. What did you say, Henry? What did you say?
I said master.
Yeah, where is my master, right? That's what you said. No, what?
I said master.
Master only? Judge, would you give him the points? That's what he said, right? My master.
I said my master. That's it.
No, you get 100 because the answer is, sir, if you have taken him, tell me where you laid him.
أيوة. فرحان أنت هناك ها فرحان فيه. I can understand. Henry, I will give you another chance. Huh? Yeah, a PA. Yeah, a PA question for Henry. بالعربي يا سيد. طب لا بس كمل بعد يا سيد. يا سيد تكمل بعدين. أين وضعوه؟ طيب Henry.
Thank you.
No problem. Tell me the answer for the three questions for 200. AP for 200. Okay? Number one, who is the speaker? Number two, the speaker is speaking to whom? And number three, the speaker thought whom she is speaking to is what? Who is speaking? Speaking to whom? And perceived as what?
For 200.
For 200. السؤال جاي لك خفيف.
Mary Magdalene.
رئيس المجموعة.
Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene speaking
talking to Jesus.
To
thought
Jesus?
it was a gardener.
Whom she thought was a gardener. Thank you. 200. You redeemed yourself here, Henry. Okay. Here. Daniel.
For the smart only for 500?
The smart only
Wait,
for
hold on.
500.
Let me get some votes here. Hang on. What?
نعم.
Okay. Where is it mentioned for 500? Where is the first?
When was
verse
this verse mentioned for 500?
Okay.
Lord, the one you love is sick. Lord,
are you looking for a
the one you
specific
love is
scriptural
sick.
reference, like chapter and verse? Or?
No, just tell me first that stick to the question. 30 seconds.
You don't want chapter and verse, right? So it's when the Jesus was being told that Lazarus was sick. In the gospel according to John.
By whom? He was told by whom?
Martha, Lazarus' sister.
That will work.
How much?
500.
What category do we?
500 is big enough. لأن دول مسيحيين. These are Christian people. Okay.
All right.
Okay. For 200, you want to stick to AP? Okay. Tell me the location of the conversation.
Location of what?
In what city? The location, what city the conversation happened at? 30 seconds.
Outside the city of Jerusalem.
Outside what?
Outside the city of Jerusalem.
That's not very very specific. In the back, the red one. You want to take it? Where did the conversation happen? What city?
What city? Bethany?
Bethany is correct. Yes. 200. Kareem,
Category do we?
you want to continue with the AP?
Continue? Yeah.
Okay.
We'll continue.
Tell us in miles, distance, how far is Bethany from Jerusalem? 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Guys, do we know? Do we know? How many walking days? A day? Was it a day?
10 seconds.
3 days?
Huh?
3 days.
3 days walking?
Yes.
Wrong. Okay. You want to inherit? In miles. You want to inherit or no? Yes or no? Will inherit. Go ahead. 1.5 to 2 miles. Correct. He's my son-in-law. Yeah. 200.
Hey, you can't use GPS.
How is what?
How is it said in the Bible?
How it was said?
I don't know. They said 3 days.
In the old text of the Bible, it used a term called in Arabic ghulwa. But in the new translations like New King James and NIV, they made the measurement and it comes in miles. So it's 2 miles. Okay.
خليك معايا انت بتلعب مش كده؟ لا خلاص معلش.
You could have said kilometers. I don't know.
Okay. Who is next? Daniel.
Oh, so we lost our turn?
Can we do for the smart only for 500?
For the smart only for 500. The boys walked in a row. 4 in front of a boy. 4 behind a boy. And a boy in the middle. How many boys do we have? Okay. The boys walked in a row. 4 in front of a boy, 4 behind a boy, and a boy in the middle. How many boys do we have?
5 boys.
5 boys is the answer.
500.
500.
We're ready for
the blue group. Henry.
Vision and dreams for 400.
Wait, we need an AP question.
نعم. لا ما الاي بي ده زياده ده كده يعني from the grace of the Lord يعني Henry.
Vision and dreams for 400.
Five boys.
Can I what? The answer is 5 boys. Okay. There are 5 boys in a row. The boy in the front has 4 behind him. صح؟ صح ولا غلط؟ ما احنا قلنا الاي كيو above 20 اتفقنا عليها من الاول. Okay. The boy in the back has 4 ahead of him. وفي 1 boy in the middle. طيب هنري قال
Vision and dreams for 400.
Thank you. 400? Right?
Yes, please.
He saw the sun and the moon with 11 stars worshipping them.
Who is Joseph?
Who is Joseph? Excellent. 400.
Can we ask for an AP or no?
You cannot ask for an AP.
I apologize.
The AP is given. It's not taken.
I apologize.
No problem. I am not going to subtract any point this time. That's okay. We are a church of mercy and love.
ركزوا. So.
You know what? You want an AP? For 100 points?
Hey, hold on, they're giving AP.
For 100 points. معانا يا ابونا؟ Okay. Give me 8 names of Joseph's brothers.
We intervene.
The judge is overrule.
Just 5 for 100 points. Just 5 of the brothers of Joseph.
5 brothers. Thank you, Bruno. $30 seconds. Talk to him.
Benjamin, Reuben, Judas, Gad. Yes.
There's Benjamin.
Asher.
Asher. Abuna al Sah. Thank you. Okay. The black group, Daniel.
So dreams for 300.
Dreams. AP was 100. Yeah. Dreams for 200.
300.
صح?
300.
He saw in a dream 7 weak cows eating 7 fatty cows. He saw in a dream 7 weak cows eating 7 fatty cows.
This is the Pharaoh during when Joseph was in Egypt.
The Pharaoh?
The Pharaoh during when Joseph was in Egypt.
When
Joseph was in the house of
Egypt.
Potiphar. That Pharaoh, but they didn't give him a name in the Bible.
Okay. 2. صح. 300. You want to take an AP?
Yes.
Talk to your group. What was the interpretation of the dream?
7. Okay, all right. Don't talk out of
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
7 years of abundance and 7 years of famine.
Excellent. 100. The red group, Kareem.
Go back. Where is 500? Hold this one.
What are we checking?
What is the beginning of this verse for 500?
What is the beginning of this verse for 500?
Did they do that?
ما احنا خدناها دي. خدناها. Okay, you want to take 400?
Yes.
The beginning of this verse 400. Yes?
Yes.
Blank?
Blank.
but you have made it a den of thieves. Blank, comma. But you have made it a den of thieves.
Jesus went to the temple.
30 seconds.
Everybody agree?
blank حتة فاضية.
Okay, we got it.
ولكن جعلتموه مغارة لصوص. Yes, Karim.
My house is the house of prayer. Jesus going into the temple.
My house is the house of prayer.
No, he wanted to.
For 400, yes.
We give him 350 because the Bible says
My house is called a house of prayer to all nations. So you're missing two words. Called and to all
350.
places.
I just couldn't.
350 is very generous, I would say. Thank you, Abuna.
Did we get
Okay.
it? AP?
You want an AP?
Yes. Yes.
For 100 points.
100 points.
Tell me an action Jesus took after he said that. A behavior.
He flipped the tables.
He turned the tables of the money exchanger. 100.
Yeah.
Abuna?
Good job, guys. Good job, good job, good job.
Daniel.
We're going to take the smart category for 400.
How many months in the calendar year have 28 days? How many months, plural, in the calendar year have 28 days?
All of them.
All of them is right. Huh? 400. You want to take an AP?
We will accept an AP. Please, we will accept an AP.
Let me tell you, God, let me tell you what's happening here. Do you know who is he? He's my son-in-law. He's well trained. That when he accepts the grace and the blessings, he's very polite. Why? Because while in control, we can say no. So he's very smart. Thank you. So for 100 points, tell me which month that comes only 28 days and not any more days. Tell me the month that's exactly 28 days, no more days. 30 seconds.
February.
February of every year.
No.
Okay, tell me.
That's three out of 4. What?
Time is over. You lose 100 points. Every 4th year.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
I know. Well, you know, our relationship is good, but I can't lie. Every 4th February, every 4th year, February comes 28 days. Okay, for Henry. Okay, something like that.
Sorry,
Remember, I am on the staff here. You cannot subtract points from me. Yes, Henry.
Which category has 400?
What's that?
Which category has 400?
400 are all the first one. When was this verse mentioned?
We'll take that.
We'll take that for 400. Blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. 30 seconds.
We did that one. That question was done already.
Can you repeat it? Can you repeat it?
Blessed are these, blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed. Time. 5 seconds.
Where's Thomas?
Who's talking to Thomas?
Jesus said it to Thomas.
Jesus said it to Thomas. صح ابونا؟ Okay. 100 points. Yes. This is 100. Okay. جابوها قبل كده؟ طيب هنشيل دي يا ابونا لان اتجاوبت قبل كده. Yeah. I will give you the 400 points question.
No problem.
Yeah. You want to watch the TV? Let me go. The penalty is on. When was this verse mentioned? Now he is comforted and you are tormented. Now he is comforted and you are tormented. 30 seconds. Henry, you need to speed up. You cannot negotiate for 2 days. It's not going to work. Ten seconds. 20 seconds. Okay. It was 15. Okay.
Who is Lazarus?
Who is Lazarus? Buna?
I think you didn't get that. Please say that question again.
He's comparing Lazarus to the rich man. He's comparing Lazarus to the rich man. Jesus.
Abraham.
Huh? Yeah. The situation.
This is 400, right? You're at 200 now. One more point missing. You're at 200.
Who is saying that?
Abraham.
Father Abraham. You have to speak up.
Father Abraham.
Yes, Father Abraham. Correct. Yes. Okay. And he was talking to whom? Yeah, comparing the rich man to Lazarus. You want to take an AP?
Yes, please.
For 200. Okay? Tell me, what did the rich man answer Father Abraham?
Can you send Lazarus to my presence?
Give me a drop. Give me a drop of water. He told.
Now I have to speed it up لأن احنا limited by time. We wasted some time for technological difficulties. مش كده؟ Okay. 10 seconds. 5 seconds.
Can you send Lazarus to my brothers to warn them?
How much was it?
200. 100. Okay. Thank you.
The rich man said, Father Abraham, please send Lazarus to my father's house. I have 5 brethren to witness to them. So we'll give you 100.
Okay. The black group, can you choose, please? We have 1, 2, 300. When was this verse mentioned? Which category you want?
Was this verse mentioned?
Okay. 300. The Lord gave and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised.
It was said to by Job.
By Job. Excellent. 300. For 100 AP.
Okay.
Job was saying that in response to what?
To his wife saying you should curse God and die after all the calamities had befallen him. No? Was his friends? Was his friends?
What did he lose?
He lost his sons.
You're very shaky. Like he lost his sons.
He lost everything. That's the point.
What's the category?
ياخد الكريدت.
We wouldn't give him the 100 points.
Yeah.
Because Daniel, Job, when his wife said that, he said, are you talking like an ignorant person? But this happened, there was no conversation. When he knew of the losses, he just said that verse.
He wasn't giving us an example of how to talk to your wife, was he?
Kareem's group.
Not ready for that answer, no.
We didn't hear the question, sorry.
Choose. There's no question.
Choose, okay.
What are you looking at?
Who saw this dream or vision for 500?
What are you looking at?
We're looking at a snapshot of the categories.
Okay, you don't have the answer, do you?
No, we don't have the answer.
We're cheating here. We're in the church.
We're not cheating.
No Google and no,
No Google.
Okay. So which category?
Who saw this vision for 500?
Okay, who saw this dream or vision for 500?
If it's available.
We took the 500.
Okay, we'll take 400.
And 400 is taken. We have 1 and 200. We take 200.
When was this verse mentioned for 500? Is that available?
500, when was that verse mentioned?
400? Any 400? Sorry?
No, when was that mentioned?
Okay, we'll take a, what is that? Is that a 3 or 2?
The highest point is 500 for the smarts only.
Okay, we'll take it.
We will take it. You're smart enough. خدناها دي. The 5 boys. I don't know what's that. 300 smarts? Okay.
300 smart.
What exists in the middle of Egypt? What exists in the middle of Egypt? 30 seconds.
Why?
That's right.
Good job. Hey, good job, buddy. Good job, buddy.
AP by AP.
Let's see. We will accept an AP if available.
Danny is a good teacher. No, we have to move on. Danny. عشان التايم. احنا we're over time now. في 1 and 200 smarts only.
Anything for 300?
300. What is the beginning of this verse?
Sure, let's
For
take
300.
it. We'll take it.
Blank, comma. But if the salt loses its flavor, how shall it be seasoned?
You are the salt of the earth.
You are the salt of the earth. Thank you. 300.
We would accept an AP by the grace of God.
Sometimes the grace of God is not available. Okay, we have 100 and 200 across the board. Henry. No APs عشان times.
No, there's no more 300 you said?
No.
Okay.
100.
We'll take dreams and visions for 200.
200 in what?
Dreams and visions.
Dreams and visions. We took that already. Jacobs. Okay. So we have 100. You want to take 100?
No, is there any other 200?
Okay. There is a 200. What is the beginning of this verse?
We'll take that. Thank you.
Blank, comma. He was bruised for our iniquities. Blank, comma. He was bruised for our iniquities. 30 seconds. Ten seconds. Time is over.
He was wounded.
You inherit the question. Are you ready, Daniel? You have to think with them while they are debating. Are you ready? I can't hear you. He was wounded for our, transgression, and was bruised for our iniquity.
Thank you.
200. We have 200 for the smarts only.
Okay. Wait, what's the category? Oh, come on. Okay.
It belongs to you but people use it more than you. It belongs to you, but people use it more than you.
My
Time,
name.
30 seconds.
My name.
Your name is the right answer. Okay. Kareem. 200. Kareem, we have 100.
Okay. Any category. We're open.
Okay. When was this verse mentioned?
Sure.
Okay. For 100. Blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed. We did that. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Sorry. Okay. How about the dream and vision for 100?
What? Sorry?
Dreams and vision?
Yes.
For 100.
We'll take it.
He saw Jesus standing at the right hand of God. He saw Jesus standing at the right hand of God. 30 seconds.
Stephen? Say Stephen.
Saint Stephen. صح ابونا؟ 100. Correct. Yes. No time. Okay, we have 100, the beginning of this verse, Daniel, and we have 100 smarts only, and we have 200, when was this verse mentioned?
Sorry, you said 200 for when it was mentioned? Or where it was mentioned?
When was this verse mentioned? You will take that?
Yeah, we'll take it.
Okay. He saved others. Let him save himself if he is a Christ. He saved others. Let him save himself if he is the Christ. 30 seconds.
We need to say where it was mentioned?
The situation, the story, the context.
The left thief on the cross during the crucifixion of Christ, saying it to the right thief.
الإجابة الليفت ثيف بيكلم الرايت ثيف قال له كده No.
Wait.
That was the high priest wagging their heads under the cross. The left thief said to Jesus, if you are the Christ, why didn't you save yourself and us?
Sorry. Next, Henry.
Sorry.
2 questions left. Each one is 100. Okay, what is the beginning of this verse? And smarts only.
Beginning of the verse?
Yes, you can. Blank, comma, and blessed is the fruit of your womb. Blank, comma, and blessed is the fruit of your womb.
Blessed are you among women. Blessed are you among women.
Blessed are you among women. Excellent. And blessed is the fruit of your womb. The last question, you have no choice. 100 points. 100 points. Last question. For the smarts only. Actually, we took that already. I'm sorry.
AP?
I'm sorry. So now,
AP?
can you add your name? أعمل لهم سؤال؟ أعمل لك سؤال.
Oh no.
For 100? For
Sudden death.
Okay. No, احنا ممكن ناخد حاجة من البايبل. ممكن مثلا تقول لي the fruits of the Holy Spirit.
Can I
ثمار الروح القدس. يا ممكن تقولها بالعربي. بس كلم دانيال. 30 seconds for 100
Wait,
points.
what? My Arabic's not that good.
You can give the microphone to somebody. That's okay.
محبة فرح سلام طول أنا لطف صلاح إيمان وداعة عفو.
Excellent. 100 points. Okay. So Abuna is going to add the points and one group only. لا تفضل. Oh, okay. طب ما أبونا أنت الجادج. Okay. Yeah. So the number 4 from the bottom the runner up bum 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 bum. Okay. The IQ was humble. Let us say that. Okay. With the red group, 1,300 points. The third position is the blue group, 1,350. Fourth position is the black. Third. Second. بقول لكم الاي كيو 20 مش مصدقين. اعمل لكم Second group is the black group, 17 points, and the winner is the green group, 19 points. Come over, Danny.
Oh, Sam.
Come over for a present, all of you. Okay, Mish. Abuna has a present for each one. Thank you guys, it was fun having you.
We want to recount.
Oh.
I'm waiting for them to sit down. Sorry, I'm waiting. Should I go? All right. The competition was fun. Congrats to the winning team. Please share your Starbucks with me or your neighbor. All right, now we are going to come to another area that can sabotage the maritals. Oh, you can hear me? All right, I'm going to start again. The faster we finish, the faster we go eat some sweets in a minute. So, all right, everyone. Now we come to another area that can sabotage our marital union, selfishness. Under the title, In the Wedding We Comes Before I, Dr. Maggie Ataya will teach us how selfishness and immaturity can creep into the foundation of our marriage, making it shaky. Dr. Ataya is a licensed clinical psychologist with a private practice in Pasadena, specializing in couple therapy over 15 years. Although her plate is full, as a doctor, servant, a wife, a mother of a 10-year-old Isaiah, she did not hesitate. 8 months? Oops. She did not hesitate to come today to help us and cover this topic with us. We are excited to have her. With that, please help me welcome Dr. Ataya.
Oh, can you hear me? Hello. It's really hard to follow such an amazingly fun game. I know you were all so, interested in the game, so if you can maybe we'll focus, I'll make it short and sweet and to the point. I'm going to be really upset about that. Okay. All that work. It's right. It happens. So I'm very blessed to be here to talk about this important topic. So I know they talked about the title in the word wedding, we comes before I, but I thought we before me is very fitting for what we're going to end up talking about. So when we think about wedding, we have to think about what it means. So it's a marriage ceremony accompanied by celebration. So I'm sure many of you in this room are married, and so you've all gone through your marriage ceremony and your wedding, and it was lots of planning, lots of fun, lots of excitement, but ultimately it ended you in a marriage. So the wedding is super fun, super exciting, but what it did is create a marriage. And so if you see, we is just as important as I when you think about the spelling of wedding. So, and the way God intended a marriage to be is, therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. So I underline joined because that's a pretty significant word in that verse, because that's what we were intended to do, is not to just hang out with someone, not to just be friends with someone, but to actually be joined as one together. So without cheating, because I know you all have it in your packets, can you give me some reasons why people would get a divorce? Why would a marriage that is sanctified by God and intended for us to be forever, why do you think sometimes it fails? Yes. Unfaithfulness? Unfaithfulness to what? Love it. Very good. The adultery, she said. Anyone else? Yes? Yeah. Very good. She said sexual needs or needs in general. Yes? Money. Very good. Selfishness. That's a big one. Sorry? Deception. Lies. Very good. Yeah. Abuse is on there. Yeah. Yeah. Giving up. It's a good one. Lack of communication. Number one, I think. Okay. Sorry, you were going to say? Addiction is a good one. I mean, not a good one. You know what I mean. But here are, from the Journal of Psychiatry, here are the list of the top 10 reasons why divorce happens. As you can see, obviously all of them are things that, if it's, except for infidelity, but there are things that you could imagine happening in your marriage. You can imagine fighting about money. You can imagine having a lack of communication. The problem is these things in and of themselves aren't the issue. The issue is, how do you deal with all of those things, and how do you move past them, and how do you work together? And that's really what we're going to talk about. But I hate, whenever I go to a marriage talk and they often talk about all the negative things about marriage and why we lead to divorce, and there's always a lack of communication, I get so sad because I feel like, isn't there anything good about marriage? So I have some positive things to tell you. It's exciting. So the new trend that's been happening since 2015 is we've seen that people are getting much older in order to get married. So based on their first marriage, so according to the 2015 census, the age of the first marriage has significantly risen since 1960. So as you can see, you probably can't see it. As you can see for men, now, so in 1960 they were 22 years old. Now for men, they're 29. This is average. Women went from being 20 years old to 27. And I know maybe those numbers don't seem significant to you, but over the course of time, to change a number by 7 years is a lot for an average. So I'm sure you can see it even within our own church community. Lots of people are marrying later in life, right? You don't see as much marriages happening for the 20-year-olds, right? You see it happening maybe to people in their later 20s, maybe early 30s, mid-30s. So in addition to that, the rate of divorce is actually decreasing. Yay, right? That's such a positive statistic, because you're always hearing about how terrible, half of our population, and I'm just going to, it has only decreased by 5%, but 5%, again, is a lot in a statistical analysis. So it's gone from the rate being close to 52% now down to around 45%. So what does that mean? So we're thinking about, if we're making the correlation between people getting married later in life to the divorce rate going down, what it can mean is that people are, because marriage requires maturity, so what it can mean that people are becoming more mature before they're marrying. People are choosing marriage rather than marriage choosing them. You think about when you're really young and you're put under so much pressure, so much stress to get married, and at some point, I work with a lot of couples where they felt pressured into marriage. So marriage really chose them. They didn't choose to be married at the time that they were married. So, and people now are developing a sense of identity and establishing a sense of self before getting married, which is a good and a bad thing, right? So think about I married when I was 35. So think about, for 35 years, you're developing a sense of self. You're creating hobbies, you're spending time alone, you're hanging out with your friends, you're traveling, you're doing all of these things in isolation by yourself. But you're getting really comfortable with who you are. You're comfortable in your own skin, you're comfortable with your routine, with how you live, and then all of a sudden you get married and you have to change that, right? So what happens is you go through this entire identity shift. So you go from being an I to an us. So a lot of times in psychology, we think about marriage as everyone talks about it differently, like a dance and different types of things. For me, I really think about it as being part of a team. How many of you have ever played a team sport? Raise it. A good number of you. Or if you've never played a team sport, you know how it works, right? You've seen team sports. I'm sure you're watching the World Cup. You're seeing how teams are playing together, how they're working together. But if we need to really focus on marriage as a team. So you don't just marry your friend and then you just hang out. You are joined to become a team. And when you think about that, it's very easy to put your selfish desires aside when you're thinking about the betterment of your team. So let's go through, we're going to think about the different characteristics that make up a good team. There are many more characteristics that make up a good team, but I'm just going to go through 8. And I'll be quick. I know it's hot in here and we need to move on. So the first thing I think about when you're part of a team is having common goals. Every team has a common goal. So for many teams, and you may not know them, right, as an outsider, but for many teams it could be, winning their finals, good at getting into the playoffs, but it also could be rebuilding their team. Like my husband is a huge Lakers fan, and right now they're not the best, but they're in the process of rebuilding, right? So right now, that's probably their goal. So they may not be thinking about every game winning a game, but they may be thinking about we need to rebuild and reestablish our team. When you look at the verse from Ecclesiastes, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their labor. I love this part. For if they fall, one will lift up his companion, but woe to him who is alone when he falls, for he has no one to help him up. I really love that because when you think about you're part of a team and one of your team members falls, that's your teammate. You go down there and you help that person up. So you want to think about that in your marriage. You want to think about what is happening with my teammate? What is happening with our goals that we've set? I think a lot of times this is neglected. Like a lot of times married couples don't talk about what their end goal is. You just assume, oh, we get married, we're going to have kids, we're going to buy a house, we're going to do all... There's a lot of assumptions being made based on just what societal norms are, right? But come to find out, and I'm privileged enough in my job to be able to find out that lots of people that are having problems in their marriage, turns out they never talked about these things ahead of time. So, 10 years down the line, they're talking about having kids or buying, and one of them says, hey, I never wanted to have kids, but you never asked me. So now we're in this position. Now they're coming to me for help because their marriage is falling apart because one wants kids and the other doesn't. So I highly recommend that you talk to your spouse about thinking about the goals that you have for your future and for your marriage. Things like finances, children, the service that you guys are going to do together, vacations, career goals, all of those things you want to think about, right? You want to really talk about them and not just assume that one person has these goals because you just have known them for a long time. No, these are always things you want to talk about. And in thinking about being part of a team, I don't have a slide about communication because it's sort of a given. To be part of a team, you have to communicate. Honestly, that's one of the biggest issues that I see in my office is always couples. I ask them, well, did you guys talk about that ahead of time? No, we never did. So you can see how it becomes a bigger issue when you don't communicate about things. So the next point is to be part of a team, you have to have commitment and loyalty. So teammates are loyal to their team, making them more effective players. So if you are a loyal teammate, you are going to be more effective as a team. Peter and I were just talking in the car about LeBron James. There's a big, he's coming up on being a free agent, so there's lots of teams that are going to go after him, and we were talking about, are the Lakers going to get him? And of course, like everyone in LA wants the Lakers, but Peter is like an avid Laker fan, so he knows that they are needing to build the team, and he said, I don't want LeBron because he's disloyal. He went from Miami to Cleveland, to Cleveland to Miami, back to Cleveland. He is a disloyal person. So that's why you have to think about loyalty is such an important aspect of being part of a team. Being loyal to your spouse. And that comes with a lot of requirements, right? So think about loyalty. Think about, when you're in a group and thinking about, like, this is my teammate, this is my spouse, so I'm loyal to that person. Your identities are connected to each other as a team, right? So Kobe was an amazing Laker, like he was an amazing basketball player, but ultimately he's a Laker through and through. He'll live and die a Laker. So that's the thing is your identity, once you are married, it becomes enmeshed with your spouse and you are a team. You become a team, so really think about that. Team members sign contracts to make the commitment. Just as we are committed in the church, we're getting married in front of God, we're also signing papers, we are making a commitment. Often when things go wrong, when people are having troubles in their marriage, that idea of commitment just goes out the window. People just forget. They forget that this is who I committed myself to for life. So I want you to really think about that. Support and encouragement. Okay, so you cannot be a team member if you're not encouraging your teammates. You would be a lousy teammate. if let's say your teammate is having a hard game, like he's just not doing well that day, he's just having an off game. As a teammate, do you see other team members, if you ever watch basketball, do you see those guys like, get up, you're doing a lousy job, you need to make more points? No, of course not. What you see them do is, it's all right, man, you got this, and tap on each other's, backs, and you can do this. It's encouraging your teammate to do your best. Can you imagine what your lives would be like if you're a spouse that just encourages your spouse instead of criticizes them or puts them down or tells them they're wrong all the time? Can you imagine if every time your wife or your husband came home and is telling you something, instead of wanting to do that critical thing that we often do, instead you encourage them? I kind of already said that. When a teammate has a bad game, the team encourages that person rather than criticizes. Think about how you treat your spouse when they make a mistake. Yeah?
Can you put it on play mode so then the font's bigger and it won't keep flashing out on you?
I'm dying to do that, but they told me not to do that. Now you want me to try? Okay. No.
Why does it black out when you go back to the...
I have no idea. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm a psychologist, not a computer engineer. I have no idea. But I'll just read it. So thinking about how you treat... it's coming in out. Think about how you treat your spouse after they make a mistake. I have a couple that I'm seeing right now in my office who they came in because the husband, he's the person that runs the finances in the family. And this was already a decision that they had made. They had talked about it for years. They've been married for 10 years. They've talked about it for years. It's been perfectly fine for 10 years. It's been great. He's been doing a great job. So recently, I'll say in the past year, he had gotten a promotion. So he was making more money. So the money that, and they like I encourage everyone, we'll talk more about that, I encourage every married couple, they have a joint account. So he had taken some of that money to make an investment. He didn't talk about it with his wife, but he went and made an investment in the stock market or something that it ended up crashing or something happened. They lost all this money. It was like $100,000. They lost it. There's no more to be found. So, of course, this created a big problem for them. They came to my office because she was ready to leave him after losing such a big portion of their money. So when we started talking about how she treated him, so he came humbly, crying, very upset, telling her, I made this mistake. I did this, I didn't talk to you about it. I thought it was going to be a really good investment. I was excited about it. I did it, and it turns out it was awful, it failed, and we lost that money. Her reaction was not to say, well, how come you didn't come talk to me about it, or we could have talked about it together, or it's okay, honey, mistakes happen, what can you do? Her reaction was, get out of my house. She literally said, pack your bags, I don't want to see your face. So, obviously, now they're in therapy, so hopefully they're working on it, but her reaction was so harsh. There was no communication. Even he said, when they first came in, he said, if there had been any point of communication, I'm sure I could have explained it to her better. I'm sure I could have helped her to see this wasn't because I, meant to do this. But it felt like there was no love coming from her, right? There was no forgiveness. There wasn't seeing it as a mistake. For her, it was, you're all bad, and I hate everything about you. So I love this verse from Hebrews. It says, and let us consider, because I love that in the Bible it's talking about considering one another, but one another in order to stir up love and good works, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as this is the manner of some, but exhorting one another, encouraging one another, and so much the more as you see the day approaching. The next characteristic of a team that we have to think about is selflessness. So imagine if you were part of a team and all you cared about was your statistics. Like all you cared about is how many points you make, how many goals you kick. Everything is just about you. Do you think you would be a good teammate? I don't want you on my team. I'm telling you right now, absolutely not. If you're more invested in your selfish needs and desires in your marriage, it's going to fail. I hate to say it so bluntly, but it's true. Selfishness is like cancer to a marriage. We all come into a marriage with our own set of needs and our own set of values and our own hobbies, and we all do. But once you're joined to someone in marriage, you have to think about, how do I put that aside for the betterment of my team? Being part of a team means setting aside your selfish desires for the betterment of the team. It doesn't mean you no longer get to be you. It doesn't mean your needs are no longer important and they are not to be met. What it means is thinking about how you spend your time, your money, your energy, your emotions, your love, your ambitions. How do you spend all of that? And are you doing it while thinking about your spouse and your marriage? Selfishness isn't just in a marriage. It isn't just about people talking about, oh, I wanted this, so then I went out and I did it. It's about the fact that they're not communicating. They're not talking about what is happening. What are you using all of this energy on? So obviously, I also work with couples who have kids, and I think many of you in this room have kids. And I have to say that once you have children in a marriage, I think a big problem, it's amazing to have kids, right? So amazing. It's also very difficult to find that balance. And I think for moms, I think it's especially difficult if you're a working mom, or if you have other things going on. You have to split your time. You're like a pie, and you're splitting your time between 65,000 different things. It's very difficult. And not that it's not hard for dads, but I just need to give some recognition to moms, because it is crazy hard. It really is. It really is. Sorry for you men. But I mean, I'm a new mom, and I have to say, like, it's crazy difficult. So I just have to say, I think that for women who are trying to do so many different things, I know for a fact there are things you're putting on the back burner that are probably just as important as your kids, one being your husband, right? So that's really important. I'm working with a newer couple that they just got married about 2 years ago, and she's pregnant, and we're actually due on very similar dates, so it's funny to watch them. But the biggest issue that he has now is that the husband, all he's talking about in therapy now is his fear of losing his wife. And I have to tell you, I told them it's a valid fear. Like, he's a little bit justified to have that fear. Because there is some reality there, right? If she's a nursing mom and she's up all night, her time is gone, her energy is gone, it's very hard. He's not going to have the same wife that he has today, when they can go and do 1,000 things together, and at a drop of a hat they can go out of town. That doesn't happen once you have kids. So we're talking about adjusting expectations, which is another big part of marriage. It's another big part of being part of a team too. It's adjusting your expectations. You can't be part of like the 1980 Clippers and think that you're going to win the finals. Let's adjust your expectations a little bit, right? You just have to think about what's going to make sense. And knowing that there are stages in life, right? There are stages in your marriage. There are times where, of course, like if you just had a baby, of course there's going to be a difference between your marriage then and then your marriage 5 years after that. So I think being patient, for both of you, being patient and thinking about, when we get through this, just being able to reconnect. I also think that there's a way to connect, when you have a baby, but it takes a lot of energy. So, good luck to all of you out there. But, yeah, good luck to me too, right? You guys know. I mean, it's just setting aside that time. But it's also being able to invest that time in knowing how important your spouse is to you. So the next point would be patience. I promise I'm not even touching it, and it's just doing that on its own. Patience for team members. So we talked about in the game, our team actually got it right. Sorry about that. But one of the fruits of the Spirit is patience. So you think about patience as being a key in creating a healthy team environment. You have to be patient with your teammates. Again, I come back to thinking about when you're on a team and somebody's having a bad game. You can't be impatient. You can't be like, come on, man, you're doing a terrible job. That is not benefiting anybody. So the same with your spouse. The same with your spouse. If you think about having patience for your spouse, we are all humans. We all make mistakes. We all have our good days and our bad days. But if you lose patience for your spouse, you've really lost, you've lost a piece of your marriage. You've lost that day. I think about our, marriage. I think about we have every day to live in our marriage, right? So you have today. And if today goes good, high five, you get a star for the day. Let's hope that tomorrow goes good too, right? But every day is a new day. So think about, am I being patient with my spouse today? Am I finding myself being annoyed? Am I losing my patience because I'm just tired, I'm overwhelmed? So think about that. Think about the verse in Ephesians, with all lowliness and gentleness, with long suffering, bearing with one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. So in a team, you have to share your resources. So if you're part of a team, these are the things that you think about. And there's probably many more, but I was just thinking a few things that you will share. You're going to share your equipment. You're going to share your money, your space, your glory, your team name. Think about when your team wins. It isn't just you, right? You as a team are excited and you're glorified together, so you're sharing your glory. When you think about a marriage, all of these things are the same, right? You're sharing your house, you're sharing your time, you're sharing your money, you're sharing your space, and you share a name, right? If you're a woman and you take your husband's last name, you have shared a name. I also think whether or not you change your name, ultimately you are team, whatever you guys call yourselves. It could be your first name, your last name, whatever it is, you are that team. You are sharing that resource. This is a big one when people talk about, somebody mentioned money as being one of the reasons for divorce. It's a huge one. It's a huge one. I also work with a couple who, they have many, many problems, but one of their problems is that they went into the marriage with different bank accounts. And so when they had been married, I had been seeing them, they had been married 15 years, they had 2 kids, and one of the things that they're fighting about now is money. So when they came in and they were talking about their money, each of them was saying, my money, and oh, I paid for this, and my this. And so I had to stop them and say, hang on. What do you mean by my money? Turns out, even throughout their marriage, each of them made their own money and were putting it in their own bank accounts, and they each had assigned the other person bills that they needed to pay. So you pay rent, then you're going to pay gas and electricity, then you're going to pay that credit card bill. I mean, that is how they divided it, as if they were roommates, as if they were living together, but really we're just going to, divide things up. And when I asked them, when you go out to dinner, who pays? And they said, that's interesting because sometimes I pay and sometimes she pays. It just depends on which credit card we feel like using. So I told them from day one that I met them, I said, listen, in order to work through these money problems, the first thing I recommend is that you merge your accounts. There shouldn't be this sense of, I make the most money, so it's my money. And then I'm going to give you an allowance. There's lots of marriages that I hear about where, let's say it's a stay-at-home wife and she's given an allowance per week to spend. It may work, if that's how you live your lives, and it works, that's fine. If it doesn't work, I'm telling you why it doesn't work. It doesn't work because there is no sense of jointness in that. There's no sense of community in that. So being part of a marriage means everything is a we. Your money is not whoever makes the most money, you're the bread maker and that's it, you bring in the money. No, it's our money. And God has blessed you with whomever is making that much money to put it in the bank account. That's great, but it's our money no matter what. So I think that's a big one, and if that's an issue for you, you can come talk to me about it because believe it or not, it comes up pretty much in most of the sessions that I have with couples. I really love this next slide. You don't see it, but I'll tell you. It's team spirit. As you can see, I'm a pretty excitable, energetic person. I'm not expecting everyone in the world to, everyone hip hip hooray for your marriage. But you have to think about how important it is for you to root for your team. right? So team spirit in sports is very important, and it is, I think, one of the most important things in your marriage. I think if you're excited about you and your spouse, and you're excited about your team, and you're excited about what you guys are going to go out in the world and do, that is going to always flow into your partner. You're always going to be able to excite that person. So I think really think about that. If you ever watch bench players, you know, like if you're ever watching basketball and you watch the bench players, you can see how excited, it had nothing to do with them. They're sitting on the bench and their teammate just scored, you know, the final goal. It has nothing to do. We were just watching soccer this morning, and the guy kicked it, and the entire team came and jumped on top of him, and it was so exciting to see how much spirit and how much joy they had for each other. It had nothing to do with that guy who ran off he wasn't even in uniform, and he's coming and jumping on top, but that's his team. So there's so much enthusiasm and so much excitement. Think about when your spouse comes home and tells you, like, oh, I had such a great day at work. Imagine if you had a bad day and they come home and say, I had a great day, like this is what happened. And you go, great, honey, you don't want to know what I did all day? Let me show you. Come on. Let me show you these diapers over here. Let me show you. That's the worst thing you can do. Your spouse comes home with good news, get excited. It doesn't take much. Put on your smile, put on your cheerleading uniform, get excited, and then later you can complain about your miserable day. It's okay. That's what it is. That's what it's about, is about in that moment putting aside your desires to, because we all, anyone who's had a bad day, whether you're male, female, it doesn't matter. If you've had a bad day, you want to complain to your spouse, right? You just feel like venting. You just want to tell them. But if something good happens to your spouse, let them come home and let them be excited, and you should share in that. So the verse from Romans, rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep. So the same thing. If you happen to be the first person who talks and your spouse comes home and says, hey, how was your day? I had a miserable day and I'm crying. Then your spouse should be like, it's okay, tap tap aleha, like it's okay. Everything is going to be fine. Thinking about in a marriage, I think one of the things that people end up losing a lot of time is hope. It's a lot, people who I think end up divorcing, it's because they've lost hope in their marriage. To me, that's the saddest thing, to lose hope that things can change. Because, I mean, obviously I'm biased, but I'm a big believer that things get really bad in marriage, but there's always hope. You can always turn things around. If you married for the right reasons, you married for love, you prayed about it, you made sure it was, you know, blessed by God, you picked the right partner for you, things can always go bad. Unfortunately, none of us are immune to that. Things can fall apart, but that doesn't mean that they fall apart forever and you lose hope that they can't be rebuilt, because they can. So I love this idea of thinking about how love is the thing that is going to create the hope, right? So in 1 Corinthians, love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things, love never fails. Even if things aren't going well for one season in your marriage, or if you're part of a team and things aren't going well this season for us, it's not, you don't fall apart. You don't, you know, the Lakers aren't saying, let's just give in. We'll just go, forget it. We'll just go take a nap. You know, we're not even going to practice to try to get better. We've been really bad for the last few years. They're not saying that. They're saying, it's okay. We need to rebuild. There's hope. We are going to get back to, you know, who we used to be. They're going to get there. The same with you guys. If there's problems in the marriage, don't think that things can't get better, that there's no hope, because there is. There's always hope, especially, you know, in Christ. There's always hope that things can get better when God is the center of your marriage. Even if things, oh, sorry, I said that. Your hope translates into motivation to work harder, right? So having hope for the future of your marriage means that you each are going to work harder for that. So if you're saying, I'm really hopeful, I really think that we can carry this through, that's going to motivate your partner. It would be the complete opposite if you came and said, I have no hope, this is doomed, this is miserable. Is that going to motivate anyone to work? Of course not. So that's the 8 points. So in conclusion, marriage requires a shift in identity, so really thinking about how you went from an I to a we, and then viewing your marriage as being part of a team, so requires all of those 8 things that you have in your notes. But they're thinking about common goals, commitment and loyalty, support and encouragement, selflessness, patience, viewing everything as a shared resource. Oops, that's my little guy. I just had to show you. But anyways, I lost the list. Let me go back, sorry. Common goals, commitment, loyalty, support, encouragement, selflessness, patience, viewing everything as a shared resource, having team spirit, and then having hope. And then, of course, I had to end with my little Isaiah. In that picture, he's 7 months old, but right now he's about 8.5 months old. But that's it. Any questions, thoughts, concerns? What's what? On team spirit? Romans 12:15. Rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep. You what? I got it. It's on here. It's eventually going to get there. I promise. No, I don't promise. I have no idea how this works. But any other questions? Here you go. Any? No?
Thank you so much, Dr. Maggie, for a very informative session. Thank you. All right, our next topic is about parenting. I think we all need some sugar to get you prepared for this session. So with that, we're going to go downstairs for a quick sugar break, 30 minutes. There's not going to be any lines. The sweets are already on the table. Please enjoy it. Have a lot of sugar so we can prepare for our next session. Enjoy it. Huh? Oh, at the end, she's not leaving yet, right? Okay. They said the one that's giving all the rest.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
Thank you for trying. Are you computer? I'm assuming you're computer.
Yeah, I'm a
Do they need a new laptop? That one changes. Yeah, I was like that laptop looks like it's like 20 years old.
Somebody tripped in the port for it.
Oh, that's it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Right.
So in the last lecture is Dr. Nabil on parenting.
More and then questions.
Are they doing the questions and answers without anonymous?
Yeah.
You should give it to the people who do the duetting so they have what فقر like that. لو عندك الورق give it spread it out in duetting. Just say start writing it down on their notepads and then we'll have someone come and collect them. So then the people who knows who's on the piano. And you should have it at least out of I'm sorry, I always say, you're a human heart trying to love onto a better marriage. Not to say that you shouldn't do what you're doing. Pray to the saints. Go to the monasteries, drag them